1. Welcome to Show Me Your News, the pinnacle for delivering and debating the gaming news that matters the most to you.
Rumor-filled gossip, hardware blunders, or upcoming releases.
If it relates to video games, we want to talk about it.
I am Yoko, and I spent way too much in the Rock Band store today.
I am Super, and I had a cookie, and it was good.
I'm Tony, and I'm still eating chicken strips. Yummy.
Chicken.
Dude,
Chicken and a cookie.
chicken
We are
strips
part.
pretty much godlike.
We are part of the Show Me Your News
Breakfast,
network.
mind you.
That's breakfast. Oh,
For me.
yeah, that's right. You're one of those late risers.
Uh,
Well, we are part of the Show Me Your News network at showmeyournews.com, and our top stories today for episode 162 of the podcast on Sunday, July 6th, 2014. Coming off of our E3 episode with Damone Wilson last time, that was a lot of fun.
in New
Sounded
York.
like it.
You caught half of it or so.
Boy, when I came to, like, it looked like I missed a little bit more than half. Looked like he had a lot to say.
You did have a lot to say, and it was very good. He had a lot of city noise, which made for an interesting environment. I can't say we've ever had a show that
was
someone
fun.
just had it,
On
out
location in
city.
New York.
It was pretty great. But we have no guests today, and our top stories, we go through the Smash updates, and not a lot to talk about, but we'll talk about some new alternate costumes. Project M announced a new mode for the Smash
Yes, it
Brothers
did.
modification, and
Most
Super
certainly did.
can tell you more about that because he was there when it was announced.
Mm-hmm.
The Summer Games Done Quick 2014 charity marathon stream raised a lot of money. We'll tell you how much, and some of our memories of how we watched it and what runs we recommend watching. Hilarity of the week, the all-male video game tournaments, and just why do people think this is a good idea? It's a pretty big fail. We have games in our story pool, games that are out recently, and we'll wrap up with our YouTube recommendations. It's a pretty short show today, but that's for the best, and we can maybe touch briefly on the end on how the Show Me Your News anniversary is on Tuesday. We're going to be 7 years old. Goddamn.
I know.
That's pretty
We're
crazy.
going into kindergarten.
So we're going to have a big, whole, long weekend of streams for you next weekend, but we'll talk more about that at the end of the show.
You were 7 in kindergarten?
I know.
No, I was, I think, 1 or 2.
What?
Like first and second.
Oh, I thought you were saying I was
2 years
1 or
old.
2 years old in kindergarten.
Why, did I never tell that story?
I was a baby genius.
Oh boy.
No, wait, you guys didn't graduate at 15 from college?
You mean you already have like your PhD at this point?
Yeah.
Is that the school you've been taking?
Yeah.
Does anyone remember that Smart Guy show with Taj Mowry?
Not really.
I remember Doogie Howser.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
And Neil Patrick Harris.
Super. What are the games you've been playing this past couple weeks?
I've been playing almost strictly Pokemon Fire Red Omega or whatever it's called. The hacked version that had all 300 up to that point Pokemon. Funny that the new Ruby, Omega, and Alpha are out now, which
Well,
kind of confuses
They're
people.
going to be out, not
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let's be. They're not out, but I mean, technically they're out, just really old. But yeah, I've been playing the hacked version because I had to drive to Florida and back. So for a large majority of the time, I just whipped out the phone and just played with just one thumb on there.
Oh, playing
And,
on the phone.
It's great when you're doing it on Pokemon,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's that difficult for Pokemon.
especially with frame skip.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you just emulate it faster. I saw a really sad video today. It was kids react to technology. The Fine Brothers and their whole series.
Oh yeah.
Kids react to the Game Boy.
Oh. Oh.
Oh. Some knew the significance of the Game Boy. Some, on first glance, thought it was an iPhone case. Ooh.
That's adorable.
So, if you want to feel sad and old, give that one a watch.
Hey, they're missing out. I don't care.
Outside of that, I've been playing a lot of Project M, and yesterday was probably the worst tournament of my entire career.
Oh.
Yeah, it just did not go over well. There was nothing going on in my head that day.
But you made at least grand finals and doubles.
That is true, but then we lost 2 sets in a row,
Oh.
which was really, really sad to Lane and Anther.
That is throwing it old school back to my days in the competitive Smash scene.
Yeah, fighting a focused Lane. I mean, I have a lot of salt for that day because there was no reason why they weren't disqualified. We fought grand finals and doubles 4 or 5 hours after we did winners finals.
Whoa.
The East Michigan bias was so strong.
That's not okay.
Lane was missing for a good 2 hours before they started even considering disqualifying him.
He was probably getting high.
He was probably getting
So
real.
here.
Actually, what was funny is that no, he looked pretty damn focused for the time. I think he just left to do whatever because I think he knew he could get away with it.
Well, you can get not high and then not high probably in the span of 4 to 5 hours.
This is true, but he.
I
show
would
up sometime.
imagine as someone who has never smoked ever. So
My roommate's a big pothead, so.
Dude,
you have secondhand experience.
What, Tony?
his buddies when they came to visit. Like,
Okay.
he was the only one not getting high.
Yeah, all 3 of the people who went to Orlando with me were kind of potheads, so they were just getting high on the balcony when I was at Tony's.
So they were just waiting for Lane and Anther, even though...
Not Anther. Anther was there all day, and Anther was just kind of like, "Where's Lane? Where's Lane? Where's Lane?"
That sounds like him.
Yeah, and but yeah, I was really salty because Lane made pools go long in Project M. He made doubles in Brawl take forever. He kept pushing back Project M Grand Finals until I was way too tired and hungry to even consider playing this video game. And then forced to play the video game, and then I fought him in singles right beforehand, and lost because Falco. I hate Falco.
In a way, it's kind of refreshing for me that as the years passed, some things stay the same.
Right, Lane getting hot.
And delaying tournaments and such.
Yeah.
A question I wanted to ask you about Fire Red Omega really quickly. You mentioned last time the 3 different starters of the babies.
Yeah, Elekid, Smoochum, and Magby.
So which one did you start with?
I started with Elekid.
Okay.
I named him after my roommate because I was going to do a naming my entire team after my friend's run. So, and Elekid becomes Electabuzz, and I know he learned Thunder Punch and stuff. And A2, which is what we call him, is like the punchy guy.
Yeah.
We just call him the punchy guy because whenever he does a game, he chooses the punchy guy. He just when he plays Fallout 3, he downloads all these mods, so your unarmed actually is cool. And you get these crazy animations, so he can just be the punchy guy.
Yeah. But since it goes up to Gen 3, it's no Electivire.
No Electivire, but he knows Fire Punch, or no, he knows Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Mega Kick, and Mega Punch, or something like that.
Punchy guy and a kick.
He's got punch, kick, and karate chop. I remember, and that covers so many types. At any point in the game, I can just send him out, and he just either punches or kicks things, and it's fantastic.
Anything else besides Pokemon Fire Red Omega and Project M?
Really not. I've been considering starting a couple new games, but nothing's really taken hold just yet.
Don't make it sound like you didn't play a bunch of stuff when you came here. Don't make it seem like you didn't enjoy playing the shit out of Shadow the Hedgehog with me, 2-player mode.
Dude, I like Shadow the Hedgehog when it's 2-player mode because none of the problems are my fault. I just get to just run around.
And I know that game good, so
completely and utterly fail all over the place and have no problems whatsoever.
Okay, well then you had to at least mention the DuckTales jumping into the money.
Dude, yeah. I jumped into the money in DuckTales and played I played the moon, which is a very odd level, and
I just wanted him to jump into money. I'm like, look how fucking fun this is.
You can just jump into Scrooge's money pit.
Was this the remastered or the original?
Remastered.
Remastered.
Okay.
And I started finding out all these little things I could do about the money pit.
Oh yeah, he
Like,
was in it like way too long, and I enjoyed watching it every second of it. Yeah, so yeah.
like I knew which kind of jump arcs would get you different places and different animations. And look, if you do this, he does this, and if you do this, he does this.
Hey, if you're interested in the DuckTales remake, it does have its problems, but just jump in the fucking money pit. Just trust me, it's the best thing ever.
Definitely worth the price of admission because you get to jump in a money pit. Come on, guys.
Seriously.
You jump in a money pit. But yeah, we also did Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and Tony won
Oh,
the
that
first
didn't last long.
No, Tony did the first run, but then he learned why I'd pick Amy in that game. He didn't get to move.
Yep. Just like last year's anniversary stream.
Oh.
Tony kind of won that one, but like this one, I felt like I could actually control my character a little bit.
Did you get the Battle DLC for the HD remake?
Yeah.
Huh. I think I passed on that.
I will say I like the menu better without it, so that kind of irks me. Because it's the original Dreamcast like menu, which is really fucking nitpicky, but it just looks really fucking cool to me.
Japanese President's Aid on the menu for the win.
That's weird.
That is a little weird, but it's
Super, you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I mean,
Okay.
you're the one who made mine go longer.
I know. I'll segue. I've been playing Adventure 2, and I did A rank everything. And now I gotta raise my Chow, and
Nice.
I'll just do that existentially, just randomly. Also, it's named Super. I forgot I did that. I think the dark one's Yoko too, but I haven't. He's just chilling in there.
Good.
He's just chilling in there.
At least Tony probably makes his Dark Chow differently than I do mine.
Oh, do you just throw it against the wall?
No.
You can do that.
Bounce bracelet.
Oh, okay.
Throwing takes too long, but bounce bracelet is so quick.
I just pet it a lot with Shadow, and that seemed to do the trick.
To be honest, though, I think like once I learned that you could be Eggman in the Chow Garden, like I was always in there as Eggman because his voice, everything was just
It's
fantastic.
It's super funny, and he's so like big and awkward compared to everyone else. And also, you can fly his tails. Like that's such weird little details. You can drown in the Hero Garden. All kinds of random like extra shit. Not in the HD version. They took that out. Bummer. What else? I started Wolf Among Us. I think maybe I mentioned it last time. I played it a little bit. I've beat episode 4. Episode 4 was way too short. Have you played these, Yoko?
I have them, but I'm looking forward to playing them, especially with the season finale out this week.
Yes, I'm glad I finished episode 4 because that cliffhanger was pretty brutal and it was really short. And I'm like, okay, I just gotta wait till Tuesday now. I think Walking Dead comes out this month too, so
Oh, damn it, better.
it's exciting. Very, very good
When your
series
video
though.
games and PCs.
Yeah.
Yes, PCs that can run Steam games. Yes.
PCs that can run.
Programs.
No, we can just leave it at run.
Run.
Very much enjoyed Wolf Among Us. That was the last thing I played. But the most important thing I played was Shovel Knight,
Yeah.
which Yoko has on here. I have to ask, did you beat it?
Oh, no.
I didn't think so.
Oh, no. It is tough, and I am so bad at the retro 2D platformer. I bought it because a lot of people were giving it praise. Great reviews. Great,
How long is it?
It's about 6 hours probably.
Very
And I'm like an hour and a
We
half.
could probably run it at the.
I do have it on the list of what we could play, at the anniversary stream. I'm at about an hour and a half into it.
Right.
I did the Golden World, which is like the first big one. So like I can make progress. It's slow progress for me, and
That's kind of how I feel.
I'm not good at it.
I beat it, and it took tries, but the game is very well designed in the fact that I never felt like it was the game's fault or anything.
Oh yeah.
Just stuff like that. Music's great. They had the soundtrack on this site. You could just pay whatever you wanted. I just paid $2 and got it. It's a very good game. Very well designed. Very pretty to look at. Like it's great.
So far, it's a lock for Independent Game of the Year.
I think so too. Just really intuitive. Very like you can do like all the functions you do at the beginning are pretty much like you can go through the whole game with them. You get extra like power ups, but it's all just extra stuff.
Yeah.
The thing I wanted to say though, so yeah, he's saying it's hard. I'm saying it's kind of difficult too. And it's funny because I read the IGN review and the guy was like, "It's too easy."
What? What?
I'm like, "Are you
No.
fucking serious?"
No.
Huh.
Fucking
And I'm
no.
IGN reviewer.
And I'm not saying that he didn't find it like easy or whatever. I'm just saying like I'm dying a lot. Like there's one stage I died a lot. It took me a long time. I beat it. I persevered, and I do think I'll probably run through it faster the next time. But it's tricky, I think, if you're not. Those NES games are hard as nails, and I think it's a little inspired from that. And it's not as
for
hard
sure.
as some of them, but it's. I mean, fuck, man.
It's Mega Man platforming. It's DuckTales with the pogo. You get some Zelda 2 in the town.
Wall chicken.
Yeah, Wall chickens in Castlevania. There, it's a legitimate difficult. It's not a cheap dumb difficulty, but it's legitimately hard. I'm glad that they don't rely on the live system because that's such an outdated archaic mode.
The checkpoint system, fucking brilliant.
Checkpoint system is great.
You can bust the checkpoints for money if you want and up the difficulty for yourself.
And
when you die, you lose money and you can pick it up on your run through if you get that far again.
And that is the nice thing about it. But if you try going for your money and then you die, well, then you lose it. So I see that eventually being my struggle with the game. Like, I'm going to have no gold for these upgrades, like in health and whatnot. So
just spend your money often, is all I can tell you.
Good boss design, too, though. Not relying on a set pattern. It's you just really have to study the boss's movement. It's almost random what they're going to do. They have like 4 or 5, 6 moves at their disposal, and it's pretty smart. And you just got to pay attention. They're tough.
Oh, I wanted to tell you too. There's another town later on, and you can get different armor, and each armor has different attributes, and one of them is losing like half as much gold. Wow. So I used that most of the run through until I got like it needed. So.
And there's a butt mode apparently.
Butt mode. I haven't used it yet, but it replaces all the major words with butt.
Butt mode.
Butt mode.
This reminds me of the vagina monologues.
Yes. Anything else you've been playing, Tony?
That's about it. I'm just waiting for Wolf Among Us. I might start Child of Light here soon too. So,
yeah, I gotta start Child of Light. I also have to start Valiant Hearts: The Great War. So that's also another short game, and probably in like the same vein of like the Telltale games. So with its storytelling and minimal quick time event like action. But I actually played the past couple weeks. I tried Wii Sports Club because I've been buying each of them steadily, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to wait until all of them are out.
It like pre-installs on your Wii, whether you want it to or not.
More or less, but
they like updates, and I deleted it.
But they have like a little free-to-play system, so like you can pay like $1 or $2 for like a 24-hour pass, or you can just pay $10 and get like the whole sport just to keep. And so they did that for the first 3. They did that for tennis, for golf, and for bowling. And now they just released baseball and boxing as a combined $10 pass. So it's $40 overall when it hits retail later this month. I had difficulty. God, this is going to sound so much like white first world problems, first person problems. Jeez, I'm not able to get the Wii remote picking up well on my system with the Wii U downstairs on the projector. I don't know what it is, but I'm holding the Wii remote. I tried streaming this at one point. I'm holding the Wii remote just, ready for tennis, and in the ready screen where you see like, doubles of your Mii there, my Mii's are going like swinging their racket just back and forth, like almost just spazzing out uncontrollably, and I'm sitting here like, I'm just holding the Wii remote. What the fuck is happening right now?
You got super jittery hands and you don't even know.
I guess so. And you can kind of see like the bottom of like the hand for like the pointer finger of the Wii remote, like just moving very slightly, but it should not be enough to register as a full swing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, so I tried messing with some of the, the sensitivity settings. That didn't really work. I don't know if it's just my setup on a projector here that it does not, work well with the Wii remote. So that was frustrating. So I tried playing Wii Sports Club. I figured that'd be a game I could go through and experience in HD and beat again, but I could hardly play. That was frustrating.
You never play casual games.
I guess that's the lesson here.
Super. Who's yelling in the background? You keep
He may be at
try
Rob
to
Joe's
hide it.
place. He may be at Rob Joe's place again.
Someone came over, and now they're yelling at each other.
Yay! It's
So-
not the city, but it'll do.
Right.
So we already talked about Shovel Knight. Play a little bit of that. Hoping to continue more, but maybe we'll see what happens at the anniversary. And arriving from GameFly was Conception 2, Children of the Seven Stars. Well, what to say about this game?
I've never heard of it.
Exception
So-
and children in the title, so you think it'd be more adult, but I feel like I've made this joke before.
You're actually not entirely far off. This is a
Aha.
game by Spike Chunsoft, and it's published by Atlas. So I'm like, an Atlas RPG, I'll put it on my GameFly queue, it'll come in, I'll give it a try. And I've dropped it, because the battle system is not conveyed well at all. They do a terrible job of explaining these different mechanics, and it's just very awkward in that way. And I'm just like, I'm not seeing this battle system as fun. And you're saying you're going by these things so quickly. You're not explaining them. You're saying this is very important, but you just breezed over this, and it's entirely frustrating. So it's part dungeon crawler with strange quadrant-based battle mechanics with chains, and it's a mess. They don't convey it well at all. And then mixed with like dating sim, visual novel kind of stuff. And the idea is like there's these dark portals opening up across the world with monsters coming out, and you are
Oblivion.
you are marked with a special sign by the Star God, like these other female companions, and you also have a few male companions as well.
So
when
kind of Oblivion.
kind of, and then you get to this university, and you're marked for your potential. But whoa, you have this crazy potential as a male, and then these female classmates, they're ranked S, for their abilities as well, and there's the process of classmating, where it's basically fusing your energies to create star children, which are these little demigod sort of creatures. And
I'm listening.
there's all these different factors to what makes these little star children stronger, and then you take them into battle with a female of your choice into these dungeons. And then the game got super weird when during the downtime and you're communicating and trying
And then did it get weird?
yeah.
Only right then. Class mating. Nah, not weird. Now we're in the weird stuff. All right.
It's very Japanese because these classmates are 16 to 18 years old, and they're talking about how you can spend time with them, and then they show a tutorial for a touch mode. And I'm like, nope, we're done here. We're done, game. I'm
Wait,
sorry. I
that's
get
the
your
part I was waiting for.
I get your Japan. I get you're on 3DS and Vita. It has a touchscreen. But a 26-year-old American male.
That's
I'm
weird,
done.
man.
I'm done. With that and the battle mechanics, like I wanted to give the game a try. And there's of course jiggle physics and panty shots and the like. I mean, it's
Super. Add this to our grump list. We'll get to one day.
it would make a good Grump game. It's just not a game that I'm gonna continue playing. So
Oh, I don't blame you. That's weird.
back to GameFly it goes. So I'm hoping to play Valiant Hearts next though. So
You slap him around.
yeah. Did not get Acro Lance in the Twitch chat is asking what happens in that mode. Lol. Did not get to actually try it, but they're like, ooh, and you'll get to have this mode. And they showed a screenshot where there were like different circle points around different parts on the girl's body. I'm like, we're just gonna stop this right now. They're 16 to 18 years old. Like, that's enough. Speaking of enough, that's all for What Are You Playing? Let's get to our headlines. We start with the Smash Brothers update, looking at the Miiverse updates for the new Super Smash Brothers game. Not a lot to talk about. But we'll cover what we can here. We start on June 20th, looking at Donkey Kong's third special attack, Storm Punch.
You know, from that game where he tornado punched people.
He creates winds and tornadoes out of...
I would have rather have his dash attack from Donkey Kong 64.
I think his dash attack in Project M, with just the roll, is perfect how it is.
Yes, that is perfect how it is. But let's be honest, they can't take that anymore. Because
this
that
looks...
would be a very overt taking.
Right. They've taken enough. Right. So this looks like the neutral B with the added effect onto it, because you do have the customized movesets, which we did hear a little bit about at E3. And interesting translation. We were talking about this before the show. It says each fighter is stocked with 12 different special moves. The number of attacks is pretty appalling.
We don't think that was translated right.
I am just disgruntled by all of these choices.
Yeah. If you want to say appalling, maybe try revolting, but I don't think that's what you mean, translators. Shocking, maybe. Surprising, absolutely.
Sakura's really fucking annoyed with the extra work.
He's like, Nate Beeldorf, you said real men use items. I did not want that translated. And now this. I'm sick of it.
Fine.
But what about the one from the next day, though? What is this?
I don't know, man. It looks like the Katamari Damacy cutscenes or some shit.
Kind of.
Like old Kid Icarus or something, but I honestly do not know.
There's like some big fairy for those listening in audio, and she's all pixelated. There's another smaller fairy, but Rosalina's right there, and this fairy's like 1.5 times her size. My guess, judging from the background there with the blue and the green grass, blue sky, green grass, and this is a Wii U screenshot, by the way, if you've seen the Pac-Man stage for Wii U, it is so very simplistic. 2D, like 8-bit. So I'm guessing this is what it's from. And I don't know what these little boots with the blue feather are there. Maybe it's some kind of Namco item. But I'm guessing that's what this is from. The caption is no help, as it says, "Is this a match made in heaven? Remember, no matter how big you may be, there is always someone bigger." Bigger in what way?
Ridley.
That's weird.
Ridley.
No, fuck, don't.
Ridley in the Smash. Link gets his Skyward Sword tunic.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Was it white?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, Skyward Sword tunic is like, it looks like his original clothes that he starts the game in.
Yeah.
So kind of like the way Project M has done Outset Link for Toon Link, but not nearly as much effort.
In a way, but here's my question though. I mean, with all of the different costumes that they've come up with for all these different characters, why could you not get rid of Link's hat? I mean, at the start of Skyward Sword, Link does not have a hat. He's a trainee. He's a trainee in the night school essentially, and getting that hat is
too much effort.
It's too much effort to put pink hoodie on Little Mac. It's too much effort to do wireframe Little Mac, but no, we can't take Link's hat off.
It's iconic and too much effort.
Iconic, you're sounding like Ubisoft right now. With what is it? Aiden Pierce's iconic baseball cap. Yes. I guess some more balloon fight. We've seen this stage already on 3DS. Good to see that.
Nabbit stole Luigi.
Nabbit stole Luigi. What's up with that, Tony?
I don't know.
It's one of those. Nabbit's the boss of the stage. I mean, it's pretty clear. It's like, here's Nabbit, who appears in the Mushroom Kingdom U stage, so he only appears here. So he's basically the Yellow Devil of that level.
That's an interesting point. I hope we can turn him off.
Is he a good guy though?
Usually.
For Luigi U. So, I mean, in the original game, he just stole your stuff and ran off, so...
Oh, that's true.
He's basically just the new tech, down to, like, his entire everything.
Different Miis have different attributes, as we probably suspected. Smaller Miis are going to be faster, more lightweight. Bigger Miis are going to have, be more power-based.
Fatter Miis only get 2 jumps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is kind of carried over with the whole idea that Miis are not going to be able to be used in with anyone mode online, because like we talked about last time, you don't want to have like Hitler versus Jesus versus Obama, etc.
Yes.
But you could with your friends. I mean,
They don't want it. I don't
Me
want it.
by all
tournaments.
means.
I feel like this is the nail in the coffin for me fighter and competitive scenes though.
How so?
Too much differences. Like, oh, I have a me. I don't know if it's gonna be a speedy me or a power me, and I can't tell just from the picture that he chose.
Yeah,
So
your
I
Mii's
mean,
have to be the exact right height. Yeah.
yeah, it's like I mean, our tournament's gonna try and force different like me sizes. I mean, the moveset will be similar, but I'm not sure, guys.
And
I
it's
don't
some interesting
envy-
speculation.
I don't envy the people who have to make the rules in this game. I really don't.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's very true. Especially with all of the different, move customizations and then the badges, what have you, that they can attach. So, sacrificing one attribute at the loss of another, and it's going to be interesting to see how that all works out with competitively.
I had ultimate, but I didn't have any.
We see Poppint. Or what's his other name?
Pedo Pant.
Pedopant.
I remember a post a long time ago when they did like a Smash update for Popant, and somebody was like, he's throwing candy and presents out of his pants, more like Pedo Pant. I don't know if anyone fucking remembers that, but it's always stuck with me.
I do not. And then we see it's just extra characters. And this month, though, for July, is where we start getting into the alternate costumes. And we see, Little Mac in boxer shorts almost. He's in his pink hoodie. Little Mac with a lot of different customization options for his costumes, which is really nice.
Yeah, I love Little Mac.
And like Sakurai notes that this wasn't shown at E3, like Link with Skyward Sword tunic. So there's hope yet for all these different different colors, like Fire Rosalina.
I've noticed
But
is
that could just be a color, though. I mean,
Yeah, well,
one of the things the Smash community also noted is that the E3 version was very late or a very early build because people were noticing a lot more cleanup and a lot more detail in some of the promo videos that was not
interesting.
present in the E3 demo. So, what we saw in the demo was some pretty early stuff from a couple months ago.
Did you hear the rumor? And again, it's probably a case of pics or it didn't happen. But I saw some post on Smashboards where someone was claiming that at a Best Buy demo, they did random, and then someone came upon a very unfinished Ganon as a part of a bug.
I have
and
not heard about that.
like had his Twilight Princess look. A game crashed pretty soon after they had to restart the unit. Again, yeah, it is a case of Pixar didn't happen. Would not be surprising to see Ganondorf. This game is duly in need of villains as playable characters, but would be interesting to see.
It is definitely a Pixar didn't happen, and I'm going to go ahead and call it that it didn't happen because as soon as Ganondorf would have showed up, we live in an age and technology where everyone's smartphones would have been out that instant and took
That's
pictures.
true. That's true, yeah.
There's no way it would have gone without being pictured.
That's just all part of
bunch
the...
fans in line for a Nintendo game they're super excited for. Yeah, none of them care about something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's all part of the drama that's, leading up to this. And guys, you got to think about this. The game comes out on 3DS in Japan on, September 13th. You got to think, at least a week beforehand, somehow it's going to leak. We're going to know the final roster for this game in about a couple months.
Oh, I know, it's awesome.
That's
crazy. I remember all the,
company.
do you guys remember when Brawl came out in Japan and just the slow trickle of, here's Bowser, here's Game & Watch, just slowly kind of trickling in from, subspace images and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah, the subs. Oh, geez, Wolf, and we're like, holy crap, Toon Link.
Oh, I know.
The Nightmare roster was real.
Yeah, a nightmare. I think the Gamatsu roster for the newcomers at least is real.
Yeah, we just don't know about veterans, which is still kind of fun not to know.
It's fun not to know, and I think we can make certain assumptions. I would not be surprised at all if like that leak said, Lucas is not in. Just giving his moveset differences to Ness and just have that be part of the customization. Ganon, I think you can at least try to rework some of his moveset a little bit.
I think Wolf's gonna be the same vein as Lucas. They're
Yeah.
just gonna add his alternate moves to Fox and Falco. I hope Falco doesn't get cut.
Really hope. that they remove Falco and Lucas and just turn their extra moves into the customizations, because that would force an interesting dilemma onto the tournament scene. Like, all right, people want their Lucas, and here's his moves, but
Yeah.
their customizations, and also, you know,
Falco.
the customizations are just like they're a good reason to get rid of clone characters without actually getting rid of them.
This is a good point. What about the Mega Mans on July 3rd?
I hated this update for one big reason. Pick of the
X.
day. Mega Man.exe and Mega Man Volnut. They appear only for a split second, but the modeling is so detailed. And if that's the case, and I thought to myself that they're alternate costumes, keeping with the vein of what you've been showing us.
That'd be great.
And then, no, how can we not use it for trophy creation? I'm like, you rat bastard.
You son of a bitch.
I didn't think about that, but that would be like really fucking cool.
And like that looked like where that was going. I'm like, all right, we just saw some alternate costumes like for 2 days in a row. How not? And then
Especially
we
for
immediately
those
went not.
specifically. Especially for those specifically, because they're probably the same height.
Yeah.
Yeah. What,
Like,
what
I
a troll
understand like
sucker.
X is a little taller and stuff, so I mean I get that kind of stuff, but
But I mean, you can easily do some like modeling over Mega Man just to make him X-like.
Yeah.
I was
What a
talking
troll.
with I was talking to a buddy about alternate costumes, and he came to the conclusion that I was saying I would like to see like Shadow and Metal Sonic because I mean same proportions and whatever, but he brought up the point they probably won't make it if it's like a completely different character.
If that happened, people on Miiverse would flip their shit.
Yeah.
Because Shadow is like one of the most requested characters on there, and it baffles me why.
And he's an assist trophy too.
He's very
Exactly,
confirmed as
yeah.
an assist trophy.
Exactly.
It went on a funny tangent joke about like, oh, we might get Dr. Mario back, and then we're like, what if Dr. Mario isn't the same Mario?
They got really nice outfits out there.
Strong.
Very, very interesting. The Pac-Man maze on 3DS looks like an interesting stage. I wish the same could be said for the Wii U stage,
Yeah.
because that one looks kind of dumb.
I just want to
I
point
mean-
out once again that I fucking love Pac-Man because of how fucking happy he is. Like he has won me over with his happiness.
Yeah, it's a great design. They definitely picked the right design, as opposed to, you know, like Pac-Man 2 or, you know, the new Pac-Man design.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
It is.
I hope it's an alternate costume just for like mind games.
Mm.
Oh my god, it's so gross. Get him out of here.
Beat him away with the stick.
Looking at the stage, I mean, if it weren't for the ghosts, this would actually be an interesting double stage.
It would. There's a, oh my goodness, you got people talking up a storm. I'll tell you what.
Why are they in the same room, like yelling?
Kind
Is
of.
there other rooms in the place?
They're in the other rooms.
That's fantastic.
So, don't mind Super as he mutes and unmutes his mic. But I'm going to have to ask you, Super, because that's really all of the Miiverse updates for these past couple weeks. It's been a bit of slow trickle of news. We hope for another Nintendo Direct soon, maybe. Another character reveal. That'd be nice. But on Project M, which is the Super Smash Bros. More technical modification
Let's just
for
be honest,
Brawl.
the better game.
The better game that kind of rewrites Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii. A game that you play competitively. You were down in Florida,
I was.
and you saw this announcement. Tell us about it.
So being inside a large room with a giant fighting ring, like boxing ring, in front of you, and having them bring down this giant projector for this announcement was quite something. And then when the screen turns on, we're like, and we have an announcement. And I'm sitting there next to my buddy, and I'm like, all right, so what do you think it is? And he's just kind of like, I'm not really sure. I'm thinking maybe like Ridley or something. And I'm like, you know, I think they're not going to do Ridley. So if it is a character, it's got to be Ridley. But it could be that one thing we were talking about, like that Marvel mode. And like the Marvel mode has been talked about a lot among the community. It's just like, can they do a character switch on the fly or after stocks? And lo and behold, they announce it, and here it is, All-Star Versus mode. It is a mode in which you choose a lineup of characters by
go on the character select screen. You choose how many stocks you have, and that's how many characters you basically get.
Oh, interesting.
And by choosing, like, so let's say you do 4 stocks. Then on the character select screen, you change a character's costume or color, and then you choose that character, and then you relift up your token, and then you choose your costume, and then you put the token back on the put a token on a character, and this is how you choose your character color and costume. So you have to change it. You have to change your costume before you set the marker down.
I'm really surprised they were able to program this, to be honest.
Right. It's kind of crazy. And then after you do that, you just start the. You put your chip on your final character, and you start the game. If you put your chip down on too many characters, it'll knock the guys off. It'll only do the most recent up to the number. Okay. So if you put your chip down on 5 characters and there's only 4 stocks, the first character you put down will be forgotten.
Interesting.
If you only put your chips on 2 characters and you have 3 stocks, it'll go back to the first character you put down.
Major Moses is asking, is there some indicator of how many characters you've picked?
No.
Interesting.
They aren't miracle workers.
I'm
sure they're going to try. I'm sure they're going to try. I'm sure they're going to try and use the some sort of ported function from Subspace Emissary, which is where this is from.
That's a good point.
This entire list is from the Subspace mode.
That's a good point. Yeah.
If no one had caught on. So I'm hoping that maybe they'll try and do a visual on your character, like on your icon screen, but I would not guess that's going to happen.
So I'm not complaining. I'm like happy with this.
Oh yeah.
Regardless.
Assuming that you cannot duplicate characters.
I mean, you can duplicate characters because if you. What do you mean by duplicate?
So let's say like if I started with Peach.
Yep.
And then I said, like, let's do Toon Link.
Yep.
Could I go back to Peach?
Yeah.
Or I could do Peach, like, back to back.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you could even load different costumes.
Yeah, just different costumes, probably.
So you could run with Peach, and then Fire Peach, and then Shadow Peach. If you so felt like it.
This is a stupid question, but random works, right?
No.
Damn it!
Damn, that's all I wanted to do.
I tried to tell you guys earlier via Twitter when I saw you guys talking about it. You cannot use random. Random is a removed option. Whether or not they will bring back random for this, I'm not sure.
Project M, guys, come on. What about us random mains for life? Come on. Let's get that random back in a future update. Let's do it.
They're just going to tell you to close your eyes and pick one.
Major Moses says, I think they could do it like they had those little markers for the alternate costumes in the original release for 3.0. Those were actually part of the picture.
Yeah.
Those weren't like little extra markers. Those were just an added mark on the character picture.
Yeah, all part of the image.
Yeah, it was all part of the image. It wasn't.
But you got to see a match though with this playing out.
Yep, I did see a match. It was Reflex Wonder versus Wizrobe versus. Well, I kind of forget after that point, but I can't even remember the winner's name because he was a Florida player who just did really well and got himself some luck. But no, wait, the winner was Reflex Wonder with Wario Man, because they said Fighter Mania and then they gave us basically some Nintendo-esque rules, but it was Smash Balls on low on their CEO stage, which had a lot of funky looking stuff in it. What it had, but the CEO stage was really cool to look at. It was a lot like the one for Smash 4, but somehow not nearly as annoying.
No light fixtures at the top that Kirby could abuse.
Yeah, but there was a lot of camping on this stage. Basically, everyone was suddenly Hungry Box. But it basically went down to one of the hilarious matches beforehand, before they showcased the mode, was Wizrobe as Sonic. And it was literally a 3-on-1 against him. Because once Sonic took the Smash Ball, it was all over. And he got
a good point.
Yeah, but Wizrobe won because he got the Smash Ball, and it was all over. That was a lot
I love playing as Sonic, but like when we have items on, like people like, don't fucking pick Sonic. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't make his Final Smash that.
Right.
If it was my choice, it would be Donkey Kong because I don't personally like using them.
Well, Final Smash also seemed a little weaker in Smash 4.
So, Sonic's Final Smash? A
little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Not
Like
not too
the
much.
knockback, but
Yeah, but you can still combo it, so it doesn't matter. You can just go straight up with them.
that's true. No, I mean, kudos to the Project M guys. I mean, they do amazing work, as we all know.
I'm super hyped for this mode.
Definite
This
hype
mode
for this.
is really interesting in that we might see a completely new tournament scene come up from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
This could definitely change a couple things. It'll definitely start as a side tournament, and I told everyone, it's like, we're gonna start with $2 side tournaments because $1 no one really takes seriously. But I want to see what happens when we take this a little seriously. $2 with like 16 people, you're walking away with $25 in your pocket if you win. That's a big number for a lot of people. So by doing a $2 match, we'll see how this works as a competitive aspect, and you might start seeing this as like actually huge stuff.
Definitely exciting, but needs random.
No, it doesn't.
Yes!
Random, but it definitely needs like the option for full random, because like trying to get random to work in this, I can see being just the most horrifying thing. But the main reason you're probably not seeing random is because it is a ported subspace function, and there's no random in that.
Yeah. I get that it would just not be a thing for a competitive, but that would be all I'd play. It's just random every stock. Are you kidding me? Oh, that'd be amazing.
It'll be so fun.
Very exciting, though.
I would love to see the random money matches happen now, because no one would know what was going on at any time.
I know, it'd be so fun to watch, man.
The Summer Games Done Quick marathon stream completed several days ago. They ran for about 7 to 8 days. Last year, I think they got about 250,000-ish for their Summer Games Done Quick stream. Now, AGDQ, the Awesome Games Done Quick, which usually happens in winter, that went over 1 million. So for this stream to get 717,000,
Awesome.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
A
amazing.
lot of money flying out.
Now, we recommended it at the end of last episode because that was starting very soon. And basically, for those that don't know, it's just a week-long marathon of my God, I can't even talk. Of speedrunners from all over the world. Speedrunners on stream, therefore stream runners. Bam. Speedrunners from all over the world playing a whole bunch of different games, raising money for charity, different donation incentives, prizes. They had partnerships from Humble Bundle this year, so they got a good chunk of money from a Humble Bundle, where you chip in $25 and got about 10 games. That was a really good deal. Some good games there with Dust and Elysian Tale, Guacamelee, Psychonauts, among others. How much of this did you guys get to catch?
I didn't get to see any of it, but I definitely need to go see like Banjo-Tooie because it's like,
Oh yeah,
that's my thing. And I tried.
I saw some of Guacamelee. I saw almost all of Symphony of the Night. That was interesting. Shield dashing for days.
yeah. Guacamelee is a great game. I did not see that one sped run. I tuned in for a good chunk of the Mega Man block because, as terrible as I am to play Mega Man games, I really do enjoy watching them sped run.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I
dude,
watched
can't
a
do that shit
couple of
all.
those. I watched Mega Man 3, and I saw Mega Man 5 Game Boy. But I ended up missing Mega Man X Stream and Mega Man X Stream 2. And I heard Mega Man X2 was sped run, and I really wanted to go and watch that, but I did not.
That was a 4-way race for X2 and is a 2-person race for X. The X one came down pretty close. The wire.
Yeah,
that was
I think I
exciting.
saw the X one. I don't know if they were right after each other, but I love the Mega Man X games.
Some legit streams that I saw that I would recommend. The very first one was Super Mario 3D World. That was amazingly impressive.
Oh fuck that guy! I did see that. I did
That
see
was
that last stage.
so
I'm like,
good.
that's bullshit.
Wait, what?
There was a donation
last-
incentive for Champions Road.
Oh?
The very last stage and first try, like no problems with him, and he beat the game. 170 green stars and Meowser and all that. In less than 2 hours.
I think the part that pissed me off like really hard, like him doing that effortlessly was infuriating. But so if you play that stage, you know how fucking hard it is.
Oh yeah.
But the part that pissed me off more than anything is there's this really happy, fun pipe at the end you go through. He's like, I like to jump on top of the pipe. Just skip all the curves of the pipe, and I'm like, oh, just do that. Yeah. Sure.
Yep. Gosh, he did a lot of amazing jumps, and some of the Peach jumps too. Oh man, it's a great run. I do recommend watching that. Sly Cooper, the Thievius Raccoonus. Watch that one as well.
Flipping his shit.
Because that was great.
I have a question. The speed run in Mario World, did he switch characters on the fly a lot?
Yeah, between levels, depending on what the level called for. Mario is only used once, just like to. Oh, we'll have Mario during the boss battle where you're putting like the metal character into the different pipes. Just because it doesn't really make a difference, but a lot of Luigi for the jumps, a good amount of Peach, and a good amount of Toad too. Just Toad for the speed and Peach to make long, crazy jumps. I think Luigi was probably used the most.
Huh.
Yeah,
I would imagine Toad would have been used the most, but I mean, with a lot of crazy jumps, I mean, I can imagine seeing Luigi and Peach out there.
Yeah. What were some of the other games I watched? But yeah, definitely Sly Cooper was definitely a good one to watch. I caught a good bit of the Mega Man games.
Mega Man.
I'm just trying to scroll through here. I Want to Be the Boshi was also really well done, or Be the Boshi.
I saw some of that.
That was really good. Super Meat Boy was also very impressive to do a 106% run in less than 2 hours. And then Doba just finished playing the game, and he's just probably hearing that like, God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Dust, I saw that speed run for Dust and Elysian Tale. Using the PC port, there's apparently a glitch where using the map, you can use your mouse and basically just to click on any, square to go to, even if you haven't unlocked it yet. So that was done in less than a half hour, like 21 minutes. So that was a little wild. Gosh, what else? Now, there's just so much stuff here over 8 days. And I do recommend them. Metroid Fusion was a great run for a 1%, three-way race.
1% three-way?
Yes?
No, I was just like, what?
Yeah. Oh yeah, three-way.
No, not. Why?
But yeah,
No, that's
a three-person race, 1% run on Fusion, where just to have one missile that you pick up. Also, for the first time, I believe it was run, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door.
Yeah, I saw like that was a thing, and I'm like, I want to do that, but then I was just away.
I saw the second half of that, and that was pretty damn impressive.
It's like when I was into the game.
I'm like scared to look at. Like it gets cool to me that they can do that, but that's like a game I don't want to run through fast because I enjoy it so much.
Right. Yeah, he was doing a lot of, like when you're down to, crisis, like when you're on 1 HP or whatever.
Yeah, the peril mode and all that.
Yeah, peril, and then
yes, he ran through most of the game with 5 health because he got his HP lowered, but his like FP and badge points raised, right?
Started at 1 HP, and then he got that badge that made peril kick in at 5. So then he did that, and put it all on mostly on badges, some on FP, but then like his damage that he was kicking out is just like 15, 14, 13, 12, and it's like that just racks up quickly.
Like nothing's gonna hit you and stuff like that. Yeah.
Pretty much, and that's exactly the point.
And I like a balanced Mario, so that doesn't. Super always plays like that, and I never like.
One
yeah,
part.
I'm full badge power guy, but I don't do the danger Mario setup. It's too ridiculous. It's just like, yeah, but then I have to be on point the entire time. No, I just want my powerful Mario.
Yeah.
He did that in under the 6 hours, and I saw like the last half of it, and it was pretty impressive. Puzzle League or Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, the Game Boy Color on intense difficulty, that was crazy. Pokemon Snap, that was done pretty quickly. I was disappointed by the Pokemon Gold run though, because in a SGDQ past, I believe, for the last year, or no, it was AGDQ 2013, so not this last one, but the one before. There was a great run by Worcester for Pokemon Gold where he took this Pokemon that he used the daycare and manipulated some data. And he basically had this Croconaw with Geodude's moveset at like level 100, and it didn't obey him, and he was taking it through the game. So the run was like about 2 hours long, and he fell just short of, because he couldn't use any items on it, and if he did, it would crash the game. So going through the Elite Four, can't heal even in between matches. It was a very entertaining run, one of the most entertaining I've ever seen. But this one was done in less than an hour because they can like go to Bellsprout's Pokédex data, and then before that, you change the boxes to all these different characters, the names of the boxes, and then you have these Pokemon aligned in a specific way, and then it's just like, boop, you're at, Mount Silver, you don't have any Pokemon, so when you try to talk to Red, you basically automatically win and you're done. It was just like, it felt so cheap and just to, almost like just hack the data essentially. It was unfortunate. So I guess that was my only disappointment there.
YouTuber Psycho does a video called Glitch Quest right now where he's like doing every glitch from Pokemon. It's very slow going, but check it out because it's pretty interesting.
But really, a lot of great runs there. They do have them on, so gamesdonequick.com is the website if you want to go check it out. They'll probably have, replays. There's even actually a Reddit thread where we'll probably, let me write down that note. We'll link the Reddit thread with all the different video-on-demand playbacks. So if there's one that you want to see, go check that out. Hilarity of the week.
I'm just going down the schedule and enjoying like the fact that they actually updated the times on some of these things.
Yeah. No, it's a great event. But our hilarity of the week, and it's another case of, God damn it, video games, or whatever we decided.
No, right? Like the speed runs for charity, like that's never gonna make the news, but this crap will make the news probably.
I know, right? Well, when they did raise over $1 million, it made the news for sure for the last big speedrun event. But this is an event through the International Esports Federation, which is more of an international, like, Europe and Asia seems to have all these different qualifiers for these different sports events. Even like, I think Azerbaijan is like hosting basically the grand finals of this whole event. But ripples were made where tournaments were changed so that they were male only, as opposed to accepting male and female entrants. And then there were still female only, different games. But now it has changed, after being under pressure and all, so that there are some games that are open to all genders, and then there are also a couple games that are also, female only brackets. I understand why they do female only. I think it is good for their sports to probably develop, female gamer names. I think that is important to them.
Yeah,
but
it's not a bad idea, but
it's totally the wrong approach, though, to say, oh, well, we need to make male-only tournaments now as a counterpoint to that. And there was a quote in here that it's just blood boiling. It's getting passed around in general.
Avoid possible conflicts.
Yep.
E.g., a female player eliminating a male player during round 8 of losers, among other things.
Who cares?
Apparently, that's enough to make them want to separate the women from the men, because a woman might beat a guy in round 8.
And that would be a hit upon their manliness, and it would be embarrassing and a shameful point. Like, what are they thinking?
I was at a 4th of July party yesterday,
yeah?
And Kirby Superstar was in the SNES, and this girl beat me at Megaton Punch every time. And I'm not ashamed to say that.
Oh, hell no.
I beat her once, though.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
You did it.
But seriously, just why is this a thing? We're all just people when you come
kind
down
of where
to
I'm at.
It makes sense when you split up men and women because of physical strength and, body sizes. When physical activity is involved.
Yeah, like, you know, the basketball. UFC does it too. And those
Yeah.
women fights kick ass, by
Oh
the
my
way.
goodness,
If
they
you've ever
do.
seen those, like, just
They
watch
do.
those because they don't give a fuck. They just swing and it's awesome.
When you have fundamental differences of strength between the two in that physical activity, then it makes sense. It's mental aptitude, twitch reflexes, and other things that are generally equal between the two sexes.
Just press
So
the buttons.
that shouldn't matter.
But at least at this point, we're talking about them overturning it. So
Thankfully,
this
yes.
is technically a win.
But it should not have been an issue in the first place.
Yeah, but still a win. Let's be happy.
In the end, put it behind us. I mean, at least we can't say that Ubisoft and the female assassins was a win. Oops. Ubisoft. Oops. What are you doing? Ubisoft, come on.
At least I got nothing.
You almost made words there.
Let's get to our story pool,
These are
where this is a big deal. YouTube has been 24 frames per second video for a long time.
I thought it was 30.
I believe it's 24.
I thought it was 24.
Okay. Well, I didn't know, but I mean, that's...
Which is always done because it gives it a filmic look. It should be 30. I agree with you because 30 is the digital standard for web video in general. Yeah, now people want 60 frames per second for their game footage, and even though it still looks a little weird for some games to still be in 60 frames per second, apparently Wolfenstein, the new shooter, people are kind of... It puts off some people to see that in 60 frames per second. Mario Kart, 60 frames? Hell yes. Smash Brothers, 60 frames? Bring it on. But certain games, and we're going to see, games like Drive Club and the Order 1886, they're still going to go more 30 to get achieve a specific look with all they're trying to accomplish. So
that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the option's fine, but
I know
also, having the option on YouTube for 60 frames a second soon is fucking awesome. Like, I'm so stoked.
yeah, and so that is the
Weird
big thing
to be
here.
excited for, but
It is, and it's not necessarily like gaming news, but considering how much YouTube is being used for game footage to be uploaded and to see it in its full 60 frames per second.
Honestly, I'd say that this is gaming news more than any other news.
I feel like that too. I'm sure there's other applications and whatnot. But...
Oh, for all the Let's Players, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what gets me? I've noticed this. I didn't watch as much game footage before Game Grumps, but in those old 2D games, when you get hurt and you blink, like the character
Yes.
will fucking disappear.
Yes.
Because it doesn't catch the frames of the character like actually appearing.
Oh, absolutely.
So that more than anything, I'm happy.
And I know at work, for real job, full-time consequences, etc. I do video in 60 frames per second because the difference when you're interviewing people, the look between 30 and 60 frames per second is incredible.
Yeah.
Like most games, like you may have some difficulty picking that up. If you look at the difference between two people talking on camera when it's shot in 60 and when it's shot in 30, there's a clear difference. And it kind of sucks that like, oh, my footage is being dumbed to 24 for YouTube. Okay. Even though the video is still in 60, that's what I exported it as. So very excited for this.
I wonder if people would have to like re-edit all the videos and we'll get to like see that.
Maybe re-upload.
No, yeah, re-upload.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they like still have the original file somewhere,
Right.
This is a weird example too, but when I was watching Grumps and watching Sonic 06, like hundreds of episodes,
Yeah.
just 100, I mean. And then like I popped in Sonic 06 one day, I was like, whoa, like it was very noticeable actually. And then I played it for 10 minutes and got mad and quit. But example,
How much of that was loading screen?
Oh, dude, let's not.
9.
I was fighting the egg dog in the desert level with Sonic.
Egg
and
Cerberus.
Egg Cerberus. Doesn't Cerberus have like 3 heads?
Yes.
That's stupid.
Yes.
That game, man.
Move on.
I did a homing attack and then Sonic is shot into the ceiling and just like froze.
Yep.
And I'm like, huh.
So yeah, this is coming soon for YouTube. They don't have a specific, time or date, but coming soon. So hype.
Hey, at least that egg service boss was really easy with Sonic, because then you just turn to the purple gem and fly into the air real quick, and then you just fall on them, and it's good.
Oh, those gems.
Speaking of hype, a headline I did not believe when I first heard.
Oh no, I didn't either. I showed Super and we're like, cool, and I'm like, that's not real though. I mean, come on.
Yeah, who would believe that Platinum Games is making a Legend of Korra video game out this fall?
And then when you realize it's real and you think of all the crazy implications, you just kind of get excited.
It is pretty exciting. They are having a writer from, one of the lead writers penning the story. It's a inter-story between seasons 2 and 3. So for those that know what happened at the end of season 2, it's a pretty big event, though I recently caught up on Korra because they aired the first 3 episodes last week on Friday of this third season, third book. And season 2 was pretty weak overall, I thought.
In spots. I hear a lot of mixed bitching about Korra. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but I don't think I care as much. I don't think I'm as invested or whatever. Because I don't think it affects, Avatar is fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think this tarnishes it. I don't think it's that bad
No. The first season was really good, and it just resolved very quickly because of... And that was also with what they were expecting.
That was the original plan.
I
still think there were some flaws in that whole little arc, but I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, expected for one season. Now they suddenly have... more. The beginnings, with the first Avatar, that hour-long, section, that was so cool. But
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It was really good. But then, the villains became predictable. The plots became predictable. Characters were stretched out all over the place, had each of their little arcs. This season feels like Team Avatar again, which is exciting.
I will say I liked a lot of the settings and ideas in season 2. Fucking, there's some Spirit World stuff. I'll say that, and there's not a whole lot of spoilers. And the Spirit World's fucking beautiful and cool to look at. That's all I'll say that.
And so, yeah, this game though, it's interesting. They're having a contest. Oh, there you go. We get the GIF of the reaction, which is totally appropriate. They're apparently having a contest for a box art. You go to their Facebook page, little 3 image album, and pick on which box art you want to be selected. So it's interesting. Don't see too many games doing that. I have total faith in Platinum, though. This is...
Oh, they've never given us a reason not to.
Exactly. This is...
I see one thing that might go poorly.
What's that?
The 3-on-3 bending arena stuff.
Oh, the pro bending?
The pro bending. I feel like that will either become oh, cool, another pro bending event. But I'm like, yeah, it's probably going to be the side game to it, so it's probably going to suck.
Yeah. No, I could see that, but...
They either have to make it fast and fun, or they'll make it, they'll try to stick to the show too much or something, and it'll just go over poorly.
Bayonetta, Metal Gear Rising, they should do a great job with this Legend of Korra action game. And apparently also a strategy-centric 3DS game. Different developer, but pretty exciting. Activision's the publisher, though, so let's hold our breath. Because they kind of have a bad track record with licensed things. Studio in trouble, Crytek. Sources are saying that staff is not being paid. UK studios, they haven't apparently been to work for a couple weeks. Apparently Rise, Son of Rome, was due for a sequel. I don't think it needed one after playing it a couple weeks ago.
Too well either,
no, not really. But
that's probably the fucking problem right now.
But it's likely been canned. This is always a troubling thing for game studios, whether it's publishers or game studios themselves. When they lose work, it's not a good sign.
It's funny how many games old developers could make back in the day when they weren't so expensive to make, and now one bad project can just fuck you so bad.
Well, then it makes you think. Well, it makes you think then what's happening then with Team Eco? I mean, it's been years and they have no product, yet they're still apparently hanging on. How do they make something like that work? But then studios like this, you have one slip up and you're starting to go down the drain. Like, what the hell?
Were you listening to that Nintendo voice chat where they were talking about Platinum, how they just kind of make whatever they want, never really profit a whole lot, and they just kind of stay afloat and keep making your game somehow? It's like, how the fuck? How do they do that?
That's amazing. I mean, like, I know my brother, when he was having work with issues with work, because they're a startup company where he works, and like issues with paying employees and, you know, morale getting low there, like, I know that's tough for a startup, but this is Crytek. Like, these are people who have made bold statements about games in the past. They've made some good games. They are, you know, they have a footing. It's not like a startup studio, and yet they're having these troubles with, you know, not paying people, and that's ridiculous. A tense, unstable environment for workers. You can't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy. That's really too bad. But Mighty Number 9 made some news yesterday because this is, you know, a weekend for Anime Expo. It's for Rooster Teeth Expo. You have Screw Attack Convention, SGC, next weekend. But Mighty Number 9 made some news this weekend.
Mm-hmm. They're getting an animated series, which is really cool. I'm not a sucker for the 3D animation, but, you know, I'll take what I get. I'm going to watch Sonic Boom too, you know.
Right.
And the other thing is they open up pre-orders for Mighty Number 9, which you can check out, which, you know, that's cool. And they're like doing another, it's not a Kickstarter. This is where I'm semi-confused on their goal.
Yeah.
Let me go on the
I have
website.
no idea what's really going on. I just know what's going on.
They're asking for, okay, this is just weird to describe. They're asking for more money, kind of. It will, the amount that they raised and everything that they said they set out to do, like, that's getting done. Like, all the stretch goals they reached, like, all that stuff's going to be in there. This isn't like, oh, we need more money. This is like a new set of stretch goals, kind of.
Yet.
Yeah. The only stretch goal they have set out, because they're not sure how this is going to go, is like another 100,000. They'll get full English voice acting. And the way to help fund it, here's where I'm confused. There's only two funding options right now. It's like $50, and you get the final game, digital rewards, all of art, strategy guide, digital, all that crazy stuff, soundtrack, and then like another one where you get early stream access for $80, and that's cool. And I'm not like disagreeing with this idea or anything, but there definitely needs to be other options because, too, with like, I'm a backer, so I've got the game already. There's no reason for me, and I want to help. Like, I want to help give a little more. Like, there needs to be like cheaper options or like other little things if you already like got secured your title of the game. Which I did kind of tweet at them like, hey, you need other options, or you need like I wouldn't mind $1 to $10 just giving it to them, like no reward, like give me a little sticker on the form, I don't care, like just something so I can help, but I don't like need a big robust reward. And they're pretty good at listening to people, so I do hope they develop this idea more, because it's not bad, but it does seem kind of underdeveloped, I think.
A little bit, yeah. There are also some talks about, like, people aren't sure about the kind of characterization of Beck in this animation. Like, he seems a little too goofy, but I think that's just more they're adapting to what people generally want. Because the first concept art, like, he looks like this, badass kid robot, and like in a cartoon, he's gonna need personality. So, will be interesting to see, especially.
I have to check out the trailer.
Trailer's cute.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Like
Not much else to come out of Anime Expo and RTX though on a gaming front. I mean, the big thing from Anime Expo on an anime front was the Sailor Moon Crystal dub reveal and the cast reveal and all that. And
which didn't they like stream that shit like Hulu?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's a big thing for these two events in general. They had big Twitch presences, so that was really neat.
I'm really happy to see anime start to slowly kind of get over here in different ways faster. What was that new anime that aired on Toonami that was made by the Bebop guy? Like
Space Dandy.
Space Dandy, yeah, like that aired here before it aired there. That was fucking awesome. Like they should do like simultaneous dubs more. There's no reason they can't. Like, because all they gotta do is just go over the lip flaps in American. And, you know, that's about it, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But you know, there are people who are excited about Sailor Moon Crystal. You know, the dub choices I think are really good. Some people have some gripes with the art style, but it's a retelling, almost kind of like a Dragon Ball Z Kai, I would imagine, in a way. Not like to condense everything, but it's not a new story. It's, you know, telling the first season in an updated style. So.
I kind of am curious too, and I've never been a big fan because it's kind of dated in storytelling and Monster of the Week and all that stuff.
It's kind of shoujo.
That's a better word. I've also heard Kai recently. They've started doing the Buu Saga in Japan.
Yeah.
And they've used new music, and it's very like, we're gonna air this in every country. Like it's very self-aware and
interesting.
Still filler. Like it's 90 episodes they're condensing, but they are doing it into 60. And they did the whole fucking first 3 sagas in 100 episodes. It gets a bummer, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what to think of it.
Man,
but
those are some good times from memory with watching with Samurai Panda and Epic, now known as Mashumaro. Yeah. Just watching Dragon Ball Z Kai with them, and good times.
I went on a big run of Dragon Ball and then Kai. It was fucking awesome, and I'm kind of waiting for Boo just to kind of complete my sets. But since we're like in the subject real quick, I want to let people know. Go check out Funimation secured the rights to Battle of the Gods, the new DBZ movie that aired that like Toriyama like worked on and everything.
Yeah.
That came out in Japan, I think last year.
They had the world premiere at Anime Expo.
I think so, yeah. And they're doing the dub like in theaters. So check out the theater listings if you want to go, because that's gonna be awesome.
If it's playing locally, for sure.
And it's the dub too, so you'll get to hear the dub for like the first time.
But is Lanny Pator doing Vegeta?
No, but we will get to see Christopher Sabat sing the bingo song.
All
If
right.
you know what that is, that's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's worth price of admission. A lot
Pretty
of theaters,
much.
though, so you should have a good chance. So look that up.
It's in early August, I believe. Like the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th.
Yes.
Yeah. Out recently for games, Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark. Apparently very disappointing. People had a lot of good things to say about War for Cybertron a couple years ago.
I heard that this one was like this big chance for a lot of really cool, like, from what I heard, it like had a lot of different like continuities and realities of the Transformers.
Yeah, they tried to merge a couple universes. Yeah.
Yeah, that they actually ended up never mixing, or like not mixing in any cool way. It was just like one big missed opportunity of a game.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Valiant Hearts: The Great War, getting some good reviews. I look forward to playing it. That'll probably be in my What Are You Playing next episode within the next couple weeks. So that's, telling different, emotional stories from World War I based on true stories. So if you play Telltale games, I think it's something you should check out. There's a dog, so it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad. We did talk about Shovel Knight getting great reviews. Do play it, especially if you're a fan of the retro platformers. And it's just one of the best games of the year.
Even too.
Oh, the soundtrack is amazing. And Wii Sports Club finally finished releasing all of their games on digital platforms. It's still to come in a retail form. But if you wanted to, you could, for $40, get it on your Wii U eShop. But make sure you check that your Wii Remote works on your Wii U.
In other words, don't get it.
It was a mistake for me to get it with my setup. I'll just say that.
Are we about to like head into a game drought here soon?
Yeah, July is looking pretty bleak. And
Well, guess what? We'll just have to count on Project M for releasing a new guy.
I guess so, or catching up on your game resolutions. That's what I'm gonna do.
I don't think I've touched one of mine. I'm not 100% sure.
You gotta get to it. Although at the end of August, Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney. Get
You
hype.
guys certainly do seem to be enjoying that.
Get hype.
I'm just waiting for Hyrule Warriors at this point, I think.
Ooh, that'll be good too.
And that's a little while.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
That's September, late September, I think.
Late September, 26th.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap things up with our YouTube video recommendations. Super, what you got?
What I have, I'm getting it right now. I'm just going to tell you right now. It's completely just me saying, hey guys, look at me. It's my battles at CEO.
Now,
Alright.
I don't know if you guys will ever see my doubles battle against Mewtwo King and Zero, but those went over poorly. Me and my partner we've never actually teamed together, ever. So the fact that we just kind of like, well, I don't have a partner, you don't have a partner, do you want to just team? Didn't go over so well. We
And then
actually
take on a
placed-
couple of the best players in the world? Yeah.
Yeah, that was not technically our round one, but it was our round two. Our round one was against people who are getting videotaped, like as some sort of CEO documentary, which was confusing.
I'm sure that was an interesting experience, yeah.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, all right, we're just gonna play these guys, and they're gonna have a documentary. And, all right, but yeah, we trashed those guys. They weren't actually all that great. So then we were up against Mewtwo King and Zero, and that sucked a lot. And our other buddies from Michigan ended up against Wizrobe and Plup, who, if you were paying attention to the results, were the winners.
Yes.
And Mewtwo King and Zero were second place. So our technical round ones for all of Michigan fight first and second place.
Hooray, Michigan.
Yep.
But
Ended
check
up
out
losing.
check
and,
out your matches at CEO.
Yep, you can find them under the Video Game Boot Camp channel. However, my name is incorrect on the... Yeah. They're incorrect.
So it's not Solharath?
It's not Solharath, it's Solharith.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ETH, not ATH. And I've been throwing a bunch of things at them saying, hey, please fix this. And I haven't been able to get that fixed.
All right, so we'll get those linked to you in the show notes. You can go check them out. Tony.
I was looking through a bunch of these, and I'll have to show you one that me and Super really enjoyed just privately, just because I wanted to mention something else. Just look up New Paper Mario.
I'm trying to stop it, but they're not muting on every page.
Teaser 1, and it's this guy pretty much retexturing the original Paper Mario look more cleaner and look like Thousand Year Door pretty much, which I think is a really cool fucking cause, because not that Paper Mario 1 was like ugly or anything, but there were like 2 just looks way better, and I was never a big fan of the Mario like model in that game for some reason. It just looks really cool.
So it's New Paper Mario?
I'll send you a link.
Oh, okay.
I got it right here. And I'm going to give this to Yoko to put in the show notes. Go like his Facebook page because he just made one, and it's kind of floundering because I've been following this guy since I found it on DeviantArt a long time ago. But go help him out because it's a really cool project.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanted to also mention Gerard the Completionist's 100th episode.
Oh my god.
It was fantastic.
It was fantastic, and that fucking did you have you been following the Mario All-Stars pack joke?
Yes.
Did you cry when he was just like Greg even finished Mario All-Stars packs, something Gerard could never do.
Yeah. A lot of great cameos.
Oh god, that was awesome.
If you're a JonTron fan, go watch that. And that's right, Kind King was in the different compilations there at the end. He was kind of near the middle in the, I believe it was the second shot. So our very own Kind King featured in the collection of copies being destroyed.
Yeah.
I
got 2 copies and I didn't burn one. I should.
I'm going to recommend a podcast to you all.
Cool.
I know I shouldn't because you should be listening to this and other shows on the Show Me Your News network at showmeyournews.com.
But I listen to other podcasts.
But this is a different podcast with the guys over at IGN. If I can't believe no one else does this idea as well as they do, but man, they're fantastic, and I wish I had thought of this too. But the Game Over Greggy show basically takes a 4 mainstay cast. Sometimes they get an extra guest, and basically the idea is just bring any random topic to the table, like anything, and they talk about it for about 15-20 minutes or so. They're really starting to hit it into their own. They have a lot of really cool guests lately. They had Aisha Tyler on as a guest. They had Damian Clark, who's the voice of Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2. Coming up this week, they'll have Jeff Gersman from Giant Bomb. But Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty, Tim Geddes, Nick Scarpino, all from IGN. It's a great listen. And what they do is they put out an MP3 on Bandcamp for like $1 on like the Friday, on every Friday basically. But then throughout that upcoming week, they just parse out each of their topics on YouTube before they release the full episode on YouTube at the end of the week. So you can just watch there. It's on YouTube for free, essentially. But it is a fun podcast to listen to. So I recommend the Game Over Greggy show. And also, if you're a big Metal Gear fan, the YouTuber Yongye, Yongyea, has he has a significant retrospective kind of look, in-depth look at the E3 2014 Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain trailer, just looking at everything very in-depth. And then he has a follow-up that's, some fan corrections or some even further insights. If you're a big Metal Gear fan, like, I'm pretty damn hyped even more for Phantom Pain now. Because of some of the theories that... The theories that are coming out of that, we were talking about the character Eli when we first saw him last year.
Yeah.
And we were kind of making speculations, and based on the clothing he was wearing, like,
oh, dude, I knew about that.
It totally confirms, who we thought he was going to be based on last year's trailer.
It's really cool.
So it's a lot of great
So
stuff.
it's David Hayter, is he?
No.
How'd you know? So definitely check out the Game Over Greggy podcast. And
I'm going dark on Metal Gear for a while.
Oh, I'm so into it.
I am too, man. It's my favorite thing. Like next to Ava, like you don't gotta tell me, but I wanna, because man, some of the pre-stuff before 4 kind of ruined it. But man, I'm hyped too. But
yeah. Anything else we need to cover in this episode? I think that about does it. We're at an hour and a half, so.
I just realized Sequelitis had a new episode.
Oh, gosh.
General recommendation, go see that because it's good.
Interesting you say it's good.
You didn't like it?
I thought it was okay, but I definitely did not like it as much as his other sequelitises.
The thing that was interesting about it, and that everyone's kind of agreed on, is even if they're arguing against his points, it's got people talking about more so the good and bad things about Zelda game design, which is really good to hear because I think that those games are kind of like free of criticism sometimes. This is fucking Zelda, it's the best game ever. It's like, no, there's still some things wrong with it,
The Skyward Sword stuff was a cheap shot.
It was.
It was so unneeded.
He said
it was a lot of unneeded stuff, but I mean, when he went off on his rant, he wasn't too wrong. It just wish he didn't have to go through it the entire way through the video until he blew up about it.
Yeah.
Well, the next episode, he came out and said it's going to be Skyward Sword.
Well, at least there's that.
Huh. Interesting that he's going away from that. Because it used to be just, he was going to say that, after Link to the Past Ocarina of Time, it's going to be Metal Gear Solid 2.
I'd rather like to see him do a small mini episode. He's already kind of done that before, hasn't he?
That's right, with Super Castlevania 4, so.
Right. So I think that's a pretty good way to like be able to clarify some things. When I saw it, I had two opinions on it. One was that he was right about a lot of things. But number two, he was also very wrong in being as angry as he is now about it. Back then, those were like new techniques to be tried and
groundbreaking for the time.
Yeah, very groundbreaking things to try, and it probably really wasn't all based around waiting. It was just kind of like, this is just the way it is, and sometimes you have to wait for your opponent to reveal themselves. And there's not a whole lot of technology there to make it anything more than a couple of kind of simplistic waiting techniques.
It felt like he wants games to be just go, go, go all the time, don't stop. And so it felt like a lot of misplaced anger.
If you watch Game
Not entirely. I understand where he's coming from, though, and he is actually right about a lot of things, especially like some of the Stelphos things and especially Deku shrubs. Those are really just based on waiting. Like, you're really not allowed to just be talented enough to work your way through them super quick. You're stuck just sitting there with your shield up, backed off a bit, waiting for it to come over.
Yeah.
It hits your shield, waiting for it to go back. Something a little bit more instantaneous, or something that where you're mostly just in control, instead of having to wait on some phantom counter to go by. It's actually one of the biggest problems I have with a lot of platforming bosses these days. That you all just have to sit there and wait and wait and wait, and you just have to wait for this one thing to happen. I think a lot of people. I think probably the best way to put it is the judging between Green Hill Zone, the boss, in Sonic, and an early example would be Aquatic Ruins boss, where you're just waiting and waiting and waiting.
Not if you cheat it and jump on the
Yeah.
pole.
Exactly.
And spin dash, yeah.
But as we
If
saw
you do that
from
properly.
if you're supposed to do it how the way it is supposed to go, it's a lot of waiting, and that turns every encounter into an Aquatic Ruin boss, when every encounter should be more like a Green Hill boss, which is actually one of the nice things about Skyward Sword, was that there was a lot less of the waiting and a lot more of the approaching it in a specific way. I like Skyward Sword myself, so
Yeah, in general, I did too.
I can't wait to see what he has to say about it.
there was a lot of problems I had with the dungeons in some cases. And I definitely understand his problem with Tentacles, or whatever his name was.
I do know a lot of people. I just kind of want to end on this note, whether agreed or not. That are just kind of like, Zelda's Ocarina of the best game ever, and just completely like numb to any criticism, and he did point out some good things, and he did point out some things that Zelda could be doing better. And then he went on to like praise Link to the Past too. He said like, this is how it should be more. Like,
And then
they need to take steps. Like, Zelda's not immune from that, I think.
The thing that kind of bothered me a little bit is
And I like Zelda too, I want to say too.
It felt too like, oh, the original Zelda's the gold standard. Like, this is what it was designed for. So all Zeldas must be like this, and it can't break away from this ever. Like, no, I didn't agree with that.
Yeah,
and plus, Ocarina's not the best because it's Wind Waker.
That's true too.
I'm just saying.
I have problems with Wind Waker as a design.
Oh yeah, totally. But
I'm like, hey, you have this big old ocean to explore. Wow, cool. What can I explore? Nothing. Just kind of waves. Oh, cool.
it's really restricted in the beginning too. I noticed when you're playing HD, the boat's like can't go that way yet. I'm like, but far, man, come on.
Well, we'll be back in a couple weeks with another episode. Hopefully, we'll have some more exciting gaming news. Maybe a character, Sakurai. That'd be great for Smash Brothers.
But between then,
until then,
quite a lot of content for you next weekend.
Absolutely. So stick with us on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/showmeyournews, starting Thursday afternoon definitely through Saturday. Maybe a little bit of stuff on Sunday this upcoming weekend. That's the 10th through the 13th. We're going to be having our anniversary stream because Show Me Your News is turning 7. So we'll have hashtag 7 years of SMYN. We'll be doing our day-long stream on Saturday. We'll be doing card games and board games on Friday. A lot of game streams during the course of those events. And so you won't want to miss it. We'll be putting highlights on our YouTube channel at Show Me Your News. That'll be a good time all around. So we're even considering streaming the Evo tournament with our reactions, almost like we did with E3 but now actually live streaming it. So SMYN just could join and watch Evo and get our reactions, and we can get a chat going. So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. So on that note, with that, I am Yoko.
I'm Super.
I'm Tony.
And we're out. We'll see you next time.